guess start off just kind of talking about what your goals are for the defense this spring.
Okay. Yeah, we've outlined four areas of emphasis that we're really focusing on through spring. Number one is effort. That's always been a calling card for us. We always want our guys to play with phenomenal effort, and emphasizing that with our pursuit drills and practice and making sure guys are running to the football. Effort's all about want to and having good angles. So you create more guys at the point of attack, and so guys aren't making one-on-one tackles. And then the other areas, number two is technique, just being a technician within your position. Obviously, there's different techniques within each position. I feel like we have great coaches that that the players need to take those fundamentals and put them on the field. So having the technician part of it. The third area is toughness, and that doesn't just go along with being a tough guy. That is important. That is an aspect of it. Not flinching, whether it's cold outside, raining, down in the score, up in the score, whatever it is. Just having mental toughness, and as well as the toughness to make a play when you need to, or not get that penalty right in a critical situation. Those are all aspects of toughness that we want to focus on and portray. And then the last area, number four, is takeaways. Right? When we were 8-4, we led the conference in takeaways, and I think that was a big part of our success. And we always want to emphasize that, the takeaways aspect, and we're doing some things to emphasize it, and the kids are having fun. We're blowing the horn during practice every time somebody gets a takeaway, and kids are loving it, and most importantly, they're having fun with it. So I think that those things will translate and keep the kids motivated to really work hard.
Talk about the horn and the idea and how that started.
Yeah, so it just kind of came up in staff. It was brought up by one of the coaches, and a way that we can emphasize it. And at first I was a little worried because I wasn't sure how Fennessy would respond to it, but I went in and talked to him, and he's like, "Yeah, that's great. Let's do it." And we started doing it, and we told the defense that we're going to do it. We didn't tell the offense, and Fenn didn't tell the offense. He didn't give them a warning. So first time it went off, they're all kind of confused, because that's how we also transition from periods. But we're blowing the horn, the guys are getting hyped, and it just kind of creates some excitement during the practice.
Do you purposely, in practice this spring, are you putting them in situations, the defense, to kind of create, to put them in uncomfortable situations so they get tougher and to kind of work with that?
Yeah, that's a big part of the culture change that Coach Fennessy talks about. And competition is what brings out that toughness and the competitive edge in players, and it's so critical in football to have that competitive edge. And throughout practice, we're doing a number of things where we're pairing off guys in drills, and it's one-on-one, and it's tackling, or you're having to beat a block, and the whole team is around and they're watching the drill. Those things, I think, cultivate that toughness and that competition. The guys want to compete, they want to win, not just win on the score, but win every play. And those areas, I think, are helping in that. And then we continue to put them into fourth quarter situations where it's either third down ladder or winning on fourth down. Situational defense in the red zone is what we're going to be focusing on today. So we'll get down in the red zone all the way down to the goal line, and emphasizing the importance of winning in those situations, both offensively and defensively.
It's early, but what have you liked so far with your defense?
I like how the kids are competing. I like how they're having fun. I think that having Rashid back on our defensive line gives us, a really solid front. John Raheem's doing a great job. Trevin, Chan Salutary. Our front is really good, I feel like, and building depth behind those guys. We have young corners that played last year, and they're coming along and doing great things. Coach Franks is doing a great job with those young guys, Monroe and Brown, Ricks is out from injury, but it gives those kids a lot of opportunity to get reps, and then we need to obviously get more depth in that position. The linebacker core, having Mario again back is big. He's a great player and does a good job leading those kids. And we got to find a fit for the MAC backer. Christian Holland and Cody Graves are battling out there, and then Joe's done a great job at Sam and continuing on, and he's a great vocal leader as well. And then at safety we have Nico Hayes back as a starter. We have Jason Miller that's had significant reps. Adkin Aguirre's competing for that spot, and then we have some young kids that are really pushing those kids. So Toa Fox has made some good plays. Tucker Louis McGee's been moved over to that spot and is doing good stuff. And Brock Davis is a local kid that's really making us turn our head every time he's out on the field, just being a smart player. So, I like that kids are competing and we're building depth and making kids have to push hard.
Where do you want to be with this group by April 29th? Kind of goals or kind of where you want to be?
Yeah, just emphasizing in those areas,
Right.
Having that competitive edge, and just building sound fundamentals and a knowledge of the defense. We're doing a little bit more odd front stuff, which we're getting back to. So we're mixing our 4 down and odd front, and I think that will help us. And just having those kids have a knowledge of the defense going into the summer and building on that for fall.
Mm-hmm. You've talked about a few individuals, but is there any individuals that are maybe caught your eye? You said Brock Davis, but anybody else maybe caught your eye that maybe you weren't expecting?
Yeah, Brock has been one. The young corners, I think that they're coming along. They're competing really well and doing great things. I think that it puts us in a position that we can play more man coverage. I think that they're doing a phenomenal job. Our linebacker core just being such a good leadership group, and then our front play I think I think we have a great front. We got to utilize those guys, and I'm hoping big things from them.
Sweet.